I'm very pleased to be able to present our solution NovoStable. It's a smart monitoring solution for 27 care. I am Victoria de Poumeyrol. I'm one of the co-founder of the solution, and I'll be very glad to guide you through for 15 minutes approximately. All right, so what are we doing? Actually, we are analyzing and monitoring your horses in stables, in stall box, 24/7, analyzing all their behavior and sending alerts when something's off. It's from notification to phone call, depending on the severity of the data and what we are going to analyze. And thanks to that, we can detect colic very early stage. Of course, we have a very good system for foaling detection that actually go further than that. We'll describe it later on. Any important behavioral changes that are always first signs of something going off with your horse. And we can have a various range of products I'll go through. So how is that working? Actually, we go beyond video surveillance, but we plug on top of a video surveillance system. So our algorithm and AI, artificial intelligence system, will collect a lot of data on your horse thanks to the camera. So it's completely non-intrusive. We will record a lot of data 24/7, and the system will analyze them and identify any unusual change that requires the caretaker to be aware of. And this is going to be sent back to you either on your mobile app or on a web app that you can access on a big screen to get a wider view on your stable, for example. So it's compatible with almost any high-performing camera, and all the data environment is very secured and privacy is guaranteed. To go a bit more in detail in the system, that's covering very broadly. If you have any questions, we'll be, of course, very glad to explain more. But it's basically very powerful math and algorithm that are gathering all the data and cleaning it and reviewing it in order to identify off behavior. The model is continuously learning, improving, and it's proper to every horse and every stable it's in. And this is why it's powerful, because it's adapting to each horse. You know, all of them are very different. They all have their own habits, way of behaving. So the system really learns from the horse, each specific horse, and adapt to it. So for example, here you can see how the data will speak. We would have a normal behavior of a horse. Thanks to that, the system have calculated a trigger line under which normally everything's fine. And then suddenly we could have here a behavior. You see it's very different, it's very high, and that's always often is really meaningful in terms of health for the horse, health issues for the horse. Our solution fits pretty much everyone, but we are right now focusing more on larger players. So it would be breeding farms, of course, with the foaling or also the surveillance of the stallions, but pretty much any stable that would need 24 and would like 24/7 surveillance on the horse, training, cleaning in hospitals. We have special services for that, or any health centers for the horses. But whatever your discipline, whatever the kind of horse, it fits everyone. So to go a bit more in detail in the different services we offer today, so we have a basic smart surveillance system that's there to really monitor a horse on a medium or long term. So our system will really learn on the horse behavior continuously, adapt to it, and be able to trigger alerts each time there is an unusual behavior. And that's the service that will help to detect the colic, or horse casting or any change that would help you pay more attention to that specific horse at that specific moment. So to optimize your time and the time you need to spend on each horse. For colic, for example, we have 98% detection rate at the moment. Then we have foaling. Foaling, of course, we're going to detect the foaling, and that would mean in 90% of the cases, we send a phone call, an SMS and a phone call, 20 minutes before the foal starts to get out. So it gives you time to be on site, to be on spot, or to check everything's fine. But you will also have information before the foaling. You will know a couple of days, maybe 1 day, maybe 3 days before, that the mare is preparing. So in your organization, you can know, okay, now she's getting ready. But also if there are any problems, the foalings may be due in 1 week. Suddenly you have alerts on the system that could help you, again, be on the right horse at the right time, checking what's going on. And also we go further than that. We also monitor after the foaling, because colic are very high risk after colic for the mare, and we check also the foal, that he's having a normal activity, that we see him standing, moving, to avoid foals that skip one feeding or two and then starts to get too weak. We have people detection that are merged to our systems and now allow a lot of additional surveillance, and also could add up on systems like stopping alerts once there is a human inside the box because you know you're there, or it could be for security. You receive alerts if there is someone entering a stable at a time that you've set that no one should get in. So it could be security or reinforcing the system. We are also working on thermal care. There we will have 2 products. The first one going to be ready this year. It's going to be for temperature measurement, very precise, through cameras or camera gun. And then we have services for the clinic and the hospitals, where we can use our existing services, but we can also define tailor-made services depending on the pathologies or the type of horses you receive in your clinic. All right, so a bit more in detail how it's going to work for you once you have your system. So the mobile app first gives you an overview on all your systems. Gives you an overview of if everything's working on the system, because you could have internet issues or a dirty camera, so the AI can't see the horse properly. But also, of course, on the horse. Are every horse going fine? Are there any ongoing alerts? And this is where you're going to receive the phone calls, of course. We have a wider view, so it's another a view that you can use. There you will have a bit more details. This is the overview page, but I'll show you later the dashboard where you can see all the data of the horse. So as explained, it's quite very plug-and-play system. Once you have video surveillance installed in your stable, either existing, or you can just decide which brand you want to use, how you want to do it. We can assist on that part, but that's really up to you. Then once this is on, we have this smart box. That's like an internet box that you plug on the same system, and this is where our analysis and algorithm will start kicking in. So it's very simple, very seamless for you just to add on to your video surveillance system. All right, so why all this? I think we can all agree that there are some critical challenges in our industry today. And one of it is the manpower. It's more and more complex to recruit people, to have people that are okay to work during night shifts. And well, we have this pressure of less people. So we want them more concentrating more on the horse. So our system is not at all to replace human, but to help them to get the right time to focus on the horses, to spend time to put their hands on them and feel the heat, the part heating, to check if there are any little unusual things on the skin, to really scan and spend time also, nice time together with the horse, because they require that. So it's our system is there for the, of course, for the horse health, to make sure nothing critical happens, to also help you predict issues, being on top of the problems, and also to give comfort to the team that takes care of the horses. So yeah, care starts with protection, and this is where we are in. We already have quite a lot of clients in France because we are a French company, but also in several countries from the US to Hong Kong. And we would be really, really happy to enter this Irish, especially high-end thoroughbred and jumping market. Maybe some other stories that make it more practical. So in one of our breeding farm that we have in France, very known one, so Haras de Bouquetot, we, for example, helped saving a mare that had a colic attack 24 hours after the foaling. So the whole team was, of course, great at managing everything, but it happened one day where of course, there were less people in. There were other foaling going on, so the team was really busy managing already other issues, and the mare started having some unusual behavior typical to colic. And so we sent a phone call, and they were able to act very quickly then. So we got back the attention of the staff on the right horse at the right time. This is basically the message. Another colic attack, we've messaged early in the evening that could help. Here we have a horse that was horse casting that was spotted quite quickly to avoid that the horse gets issues. Or here again in the thoroughbred industry, a mare that's starting having the foal, but really early on the normal date. So the whole staff was not ready having her in the perimeter. So we sent a phone call, so they got the mare and the foal got the attention they needed for things to end properly. That will be it. I hope you got a grasp of what NovoStable is about. We sadly couldn't make it today, but we are not very far away, and we will be very happy to travel to Ireland to meet and install lots of solutions. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.